Morning YouTube, William here. Working today on a Sweepster. I believe this is an 84-inch wide. This particular unit was at a facility that was making additives for liquid steel, if that makes any sense. They would have a bunch of, like, I have no idea, but compound that looks like black charcoal, and then they would add it to liquid steel, and that would change the properties, you know. I don't know very much about it, I'll be completely honest. Anyway, we bought this unit for $1,700. They're about $8,500 new, so we're gonna see if we can doctor around on it and see if we can use it. Should be an interesting project. We'll bring you along. A lot of abuse, getting caught on stuff. This handle's supposed to be cocked back. It's been caught on something and ripped around. People don't know how to drive. So that's where we're at. And the bucket is completely filled. That's like 6 or 8 inches deep. Okay, our first deplantification of this machine is done. They had one bolt holding the motor in. What I call planties are people who say, well, I don't own this machine, so I don't really care about it. This is busted, but instead of buying a whole new hydraulic motor, I'm going to see if I can get by with it. If I have to buy a motor, I will. But it appears to be all good so far. It's got a cast iron, I assume, hexagonal shaft, slides right into the brush, and this unit is equipped with a quick change brush according to the video. Okay, after a lot of heating and grinding, I have this pretty good. I had to build some spacers to go in here, and I had to use nylon lock nuts so that this would cam freely, which it does. A little stiff, but it will wear in as we use it. Okay, I have both sides adjusting freely, and I'm switching the old brittle conveyor belt out. I wouldn't say it's brittle so much, but it's well used and all curled. And the conveyor belt is supposed to seal the Sweepster to the ground, according to the video that I watched. So some good use, flexible, pliable stuff will probably help. With the brush part completed, I'm now moving on to the bucket. A little crummy in my opinion. This is all 1/4 inch mild steel. You can see whoever had this, the planties were obviously rough on everything. You can count on that. The cutting edge did not last at all. And so what I'm going to do is cut it back the 5.5 inch mark. I figure there's about a 1/2 inch worn off. And I'm going to replace it with 3/4 inch by 6 inch flat stock. I'm going to bevel it on this side, and I'm going to bevel it on this side. That way when the product, or I guess not product, but when the dust rolls out, it doesn't have to hit a hard lip when I dump. So I'm going to get started with the plasma on that. Okay, I have that cut with the plasma. Not too shabby. Now we can get us a real cutting edge. Alright, I've got everything cut out. I'm going to put in a piece of 3/4 inch by 6 inch flat stock. Did a lot of prep. Still a little bit of rust in there, but that'll be okay. Got a nice 3/8 bar here. That'll help tie in things nicely. And we'll get ready to weld this out. Alright YouTube, we're using our Ellis Model 3000 bandsaw. Do a truing cut. They just cut it with a torch. It's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. It's just what the capabilities of my steel yard has. So we definitely should not tear this out. 3/4 inch thick. Should work perfectly. Okay, I have my highly scientific bevel cutting jig set up. Just a little bit over 45 degrees. I'm going to now cut this with a torch right here, obviously, and cut my bevel in the cutting edge. Alright, I tried to bevel cut with the torch. Obviously it just wasn't steady enough. After a lot, and I mean a lot of grinding, I have a decent little 45 on here. Was not fun by any means, but had to just motate and get the job done. I'm going to get this tacked up and get it welded out. Here is the Sweepster all put together. It's a pretty simple installation. Two basically tractor pins and some snap over hitch pin clips. Very excited to try it. I'm gonna try it right out here on this this road right in front of our main shop. Very excited about this. We have a angle broom, but it just puts it into a windrow, for lack of a better term. And this should be a gigantic industrial dustpan. Here's the road before. Gets a lot of cross traffic by our forklifts. I plan on sweeping this entire thing. We'll see what happens. Okay, we appear to have success. If we were running the volumizer, which is something the previous people removed, you actually run the brush this way, clockwise, and then it's supposed to pick the stuff up and throw it up over the shroud into the bucket. Then you get more into the bucket. But since ours is missing, and I'm trying to get this usable as fast as possible, we're going to just run it this way. We're going to run it counterclockwise, depending on which way you look at it, I guess. And it should kick it into the bucket. Matthew's gonna give it a try. Thought I would walk this. Doesn't seem like it's doing a perfect job. However, this isn't level concrete. This is old, broke up asphalt road, or road tar maybe. Here's where I stopped. You can see a line. That's kind of interesting. Matthew's checking to see which way the brush goes, because we're not using the volumizer. You can see the swept ground. Pretty interesting. Definitely want to be cleaning your air filters. This is not how the manual tells you to dump the dustpan. However, I do think it works just as well. We'll see if time will tell. They want you to hook chains on those foot pads right there to that boom right here. They want you to hook chains here to here, which I did not want to do because I've got a very nice step there. Okay, YouTube, I didn't quite know what I was doing when I started with this Sweepster, but this is an incredible technique. I'm going to show you. There's nothing to it. There's no great operator skill involved. Obviously, just don't hit things. But I go forward. You can see how dirty and gross that the ground is. That's like a real fine powder. People have been driving on it for many, many years. This would be a lot smoother ride without tracks, but that's what I have, so that's what we're dealing with. You're right up next to a machine, and then you back straight up, and it just kicks it into the bucket. I thought that you would run this at idle. I was mistaken. I'm running 2,300 RPM. Maximum skid steer RPM is 2,500, and that is as clean as if you did it with a push broom. This thing is freaking incredible. I'm just using that cutting edge that I put on. I just tilt it down till I get just the very little bit of a very little bit of ground pressure. I'm moving a little slow because the stick vibrates and it can actually adjust the bucket. Now, if I didn't have my phone in my hand, it would be a different story. But wow, oh wow, this is quite a machine for sweeping warehouses. Obviously, there are better machines, you know, actual floor sweepers. But for my application in a warehouse that's open to the elements, this thing is doing incredible. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for for more. We'll see you next time.